All right, everyone, welcome inside the Virtual Media Center here at the LPGA Mediheal Championship. I am pleased to be joined by Danielle Kang. Before we get things started, if there's any questions for Danielle from the Zoom, please let me know in the chat function so I know to call on you and unmute. I know we've got a couple people here as well. I'll just get things rolling with Danielle. You and Saticoy have quite a close relationship. Just talk us through the connection you have to this club.
I grew up from about 30 minutes from here, so I went to elementary school all the way to college in this area. Well, a little bit further away, but I drove here to do short game practice a lot, and I used to come out here with a couple of the men's Pepperdine golf team. Andrew Putnam and I actually played a lot of putting contests out here, and they gave me an honorary membership back then, and I just used to play the golf course however I wanted in the afternoon. So Tom, who used to be the GM of the golf course, came out today and said I was a pain in the ass when I was 16, was because I was hitting everywhere. But I don't realize what I was doing back then, but obviously 13, 14 years later, I go, wow, what a brat. But yeah.
When Mediheal announced that the tournament would be played here, how excited were you, and what were kind of the emotions you felt about returning to Saticoy?
I was super excited because it's it's closer than Wilshire, and my friends and that I know from that Westlake area can come out as well. I was more excited because the golf course is really difficult. I know that the greens they're bumpy POA. I mean, that's just the beauty of Southern California golf. And I know that this golf course has small greens, always tilted, and it's just narrow, trees everywhere. And I like that kind of difficulty. And I don't believe that the scores will be that low. I don't even think I go that low out here, to be honest. I've shot 85 here before. And it's just a golf course that can throw you a double and triple here and there. And I think it's just a fun place to be.
And before this event in particular, a lot of people might have taken Monday to rest after competing 2 weeks in a row. You decided to go and caddy for your brother Alex in the Shriners Monday qualifier. What was that experience like for you?
It was so obviously we looked through the schedules, and as of right now, a lot of people wonder about the health and everything, and it's really tough for me to play 2 weeks in a row and walk 7-8 miles a day, and then I have to practice the whole thing. I understand it's a job. A lot of people say, hey, people have to do things they don't want to do either. But for me, I have to perform the best that I can perform. In order to do that, I have to rest. So, but then we have the 1 in 4 rule, and that's kind of was applied at Texas, and it's like a $25,000 fine. I'm not giving that up. So I went, but it really was tough on my body, and I had to go home to see Butch because we were going to Korea after this, and I don't have time to go back home and then do my physio. So as I'm flying home, my brother goes, can you caddy for me? And the one person that I never say no to is my brother. So I can't carry it. So I said, can you get me a push cart? And it has to have 3 wheels minimum because I can't do the 2-wheel. He goes, yeah, no problem. So I woke up at 4 in the morning, did the warm-up, went and saw Butch at 6:30, did a lesson for a few hours, saw Nick Watney, and drove back, picked up my brother, and went to the golf course and caddied 18 holes. And it was wild. It was a wild day.
What was it like? I know you've caddied for your brother before, but what's it like on the course with him?
So last time we caddied, we won at the US Open qualifier. So I believe I'm a great caddy, obviously. But on a side note, this time was a bit different because I was actually tired. Mm-hmm. I never realized how hard it was because I wanted to complain that I was so tired, and I couldn't say it out loud to the player. Yeah. I just couldn't. And he kept handing me the ball on the green. I go, what do you want me to do with this? And then, he wanted me to clean it. But I kept forgetting the towel. So I was very absent-minded.
Yeah.
And before, I was really on top of things. But then this time, I just wanted to just sit down after 5. And I thought to myself, my God, my caddy must have days where he just doesn't want to work. So I created a 3-day pass thing where he can now tell me 3 days out of the entire year when he just says, I don't want to work today. So I said, okay. So I gave him a 3-day pass. I don't know if he's ever going to use it, but I had to create that.
Ollie's pretty hardworking. I feel like he's very committed.
He's on my back. He's the hardest working caddy I know. That's hands. Listen, if somebody says he's an idiot, he's my idiot. He's been on my back for 6 years. He works the hardest out there. So that's all I can ask for.
All right, I know the people in the room here are waiting to talk to you as well. And once again, if there are any questions for Danielle from the Zoom, just let me know in the chat function. I'll be sure to call on you to unmute. But I'll start off with here.
What you mentioned, you shot 85 here. What's your best score here? Do you remember?
I think 6 under. I don't think it was lower than 6 because Saticoy is really hard.
Yeah. No, I think it's...
Yeah, it's 6 because normally the greens are firm and fast, and right now it's slow. It's slow and soft.
Huh.
So that's actually very different from what I see because greens like this, if it's fast, it trickles in, and you have to play that feel. And when I was younger, I mean, I just smashed every single putt I saw. So it was just like a 3-putt central out here for me.
Sometimes when you're very familiar with a course, you put a little added pressure on yourself, thinking I should go down and get this course. But what you've just said, maybe you're not putting that added pressure because you know how difficult Saticoy can play. Is there any added pressure because you're expected to do well here because you've played here so much?
You know, I used to think like that, and then lately I just kind of changed my mind. I feel like I want to play well everywhere. So I just kind of just play whatever's in front of me. Sometimes, you know, listen, I really wanted to win in Arkansas. I mean, I finished second there, third there, fifth there. I really wanted to win. But, hey, sometimes it doesn't go your way. Same thing with BMW Korea. I finished second. Look, I mean, if people say, are there tournaments that you want to win? The places I finished second are the places I really, really wanted to win. So Tournament of Champions last year I finished second. I really wanted to win that event. I won it this year. So eventually, things that I want will come, I believe. So if I keep, you know, manifesting good vibes and good energy, I would love to win in Saticoy. I would love to win in Korea. I would love to win in Japan. There isn't a place that I wouldn't like to win, right?
No.
Oh, crap, I won here. Like, I don't think everyone ever says that, so.
How are you physically? I know, you know, much was made about the back. How are you physically at this point?
I'm all right now. I'm a little uncomfortable, but I'm okay. Funny enough, I didn't know we got carts today. Ollie did, but he's like, it's good for you, just walk, D. And I'm pretty sure I wanted to throw a club at him, but it's so illy. So, I mean, it's okay. We just have to keep pushing through. I know it's just going to take a little time. But the rest of the year schedule is pretty, like, 1 week on, 1 off for me. So back to back to back. I won't be competing in Pelican for that reason. So I'm just excited because I think I've come really far in a very short amount of time for me, and I've expedited it as much as I can. And that kind of effort, it's not just me, it's the team that has helped me get out here. And I have to emphasize on that is I even flew to Vegas just to see my team, just to put me back to where I could medium want to and then function on my own. So I'm like more focusing on next year. I'm being consistent with the body, so yeah.
Just what's it like being back in Ventura County and you know, just driving in and seeing old sites, and you mentioned, you know, friends and family from Westlake. You know, are you going to be able to carve out any time to go home or anything? You know, what's it going to be like for you?
Well, it's already Wednesday, so when we're at a tournament, we can't really do that much. And LA, 30 minutes is down the street, right? So I live in Vegas now, where 30 minutes is across town. But my friend Mickey drove up yesterday and went to ice cream spots and things like that. But today I was just go see one of my best friend, Hillary. And I mean, that's all I can do, you know? And they're going to come out this weekend. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to drive all the way around everywhere, but it's just nice because I remember things, and there's stories that I was telling my caddy as I was like walking around here. I got in trouble because I went from the wedge area and blasted it over the trees into the 11th green, and from 11th green I hit drivers onto 10th green. I mean, there was no one there, but these are the stories that I flipped the cart on one. I broke a golf cart out here. David Lipsky was in the cart. He almost died. Like, it's just the stories that just endless, you know? And around here, every golf course I went to, there's a story. I mean, Lindero Country Club, Lindero Golf Club. I mean, there's stories out there too. So it's fun.
Thank you.
All right, behind you.
Danielle, what steps have you taken to expedite the process?
Really, really, like, just dedicated diligence. I think sometimes, like, I actually thought about, you know, there's no way I'm the only person that sits around and thinks like sometimes it doesn't go your way, right? We all think that. I wanted to say something at Arkansas that like I wish when people see me that I just want them to have hope that you can do it too. Whatever it is, the struggle that you're going through, you're gonna get through it. It might not be how you want it or why you got there, but that's the first few months when I found out earlier this year. I didn't know how to approach it, but as soon as you start attacking and having the team around you and building the trust and trusting that process, and you have to dedicate it. Like, I love to play. I didn't want to sit at home and watch people play majors and me missing out. I didn't watch it because it drove me nuts to watch it. I didn't watch any sports. I just watched Netflix because that competitiveness I was just kind of thriving on. And so I just want people to know whatever it is, that next step, like get up like now. And whether it's to brush your teeth and get going, waking up early, like I had to switch my sleep schedules to practicing, and how to practice is different. Butch and I figured out how to practice. We got a biomechanic person out to change. My swing does look different. Like Heather, my physio and PT looked at on my biomechanics on my body, to how to swing better, to Butch calling Chris Como, to it's just, there's a lot to it and it's different. So even Butch asked me when I got home, he's like, hey, what happened with that 5-wood? I said, it's, my swing's not holding under pressure as I don't know it as well under the gun. So I'm gunning it really far, hitting it really short. Swing's different though. So those are the things that I just have to keep achieving, that first thing that's in front of me. Whether it's to eat, to brush your teeth, to put your clothes on, to go out. That was hard for me, to get up and to go. Because, it was a lot of things. So I think that like one step at a time is how I got to expedite it. Because sometimes we just sit there and go like, that's stalling is what gets all of us. On any job or anything you do. So that's stall if you just tell yourself like, Danielle, just get up, do it right now. Like get up right now and walk the dog. Like get up right now and go putt. Like we're gonna putt right now. If I can't putt today, okay, we're gonna chip now. Like I don't go into the mode of like, I can't putt, this is why I'm not gonna putt well. Like it's your choice to stop and just move on to the next thing. So that's kind of what I worked on for a long time, and it actually expedited the process. So
When did it click for you that you had to start doing that you had to get up, you had to do those things?
my mom, she's like, you need to find your routine again. So she was right. Like I wasn't myself. I gained a lot of weight. I know people are like, oh, you look skinny. I'm like, that's not what I want to hear. All women know what our favorite weights are, right? So I gained at one point like 18, 19 pounds, and I was crying every night that I gained that much weight. But then you have to stop yourself. It's like, it's okay. We're going to get better. We're going to lose the weight. We're going to work out. I can't run, so I'm going to learn to run. They told me I couldn't run, and people that know me, I'm stubborn. I ran 5 miles. I couldn't walk for the next 2 days. So, because of my back. And those things like, hey, like let's start with the gravity running. That's how we started with the UFC. And it's just having the people around you not criticizing you for being self-destructive and correcting you and being able to focus on what you need to accomplish is how I got here. So I don't know, like you said, I want to play well in Saticoy, but I don't know if I wake up tomorrow and I can't do as much thoracic mobility turn. I'm going to do my best, and that might be frustrating, but I'm doing the best that I can do today so that I'll be better tomorrow.
What changes did you make to your swing?
You can call Butch. He's going to be really mad. You should clip that. Please call Butch for any swing and anything that we have worked on. Butch Harmon is welcoming your call.
Love it.
And
Sorry, Butch.
on a big picture thing, you mentioned at CME last year, you're viewing this season as kind of a gamble. Obviously, this health was unforeseen, but what have you learned as the year is winding down?
I learned that everything's all right, I guess. I learned, I know this sounds really cliche, but I actually learned a lot because of what happened or because of what's happening right now. My life sometimes hasn't gone the way I want it to. And I know that a lot of people's lives are like that. Everybody feels that, right? So that's why I want people to know, like, hey, whatever it is, your problem it's all relative. Like, nothing's too small, nothing's too big. So, but I want everyone to know that you can get through it. So that's how I've learned is you know what, like, yeah, I want to be a 15-time champion. I don't know how many times I finished second. I don't know how many times I lost by one. But that people that root for me, that gets that excited, that vibe is why I want to keep playing and I want people to watch and be excited. Is everyone knows it's not easy to get here, but just know that you can get there. It's easier for me to see the results and to compliment the results than to compliment yourself that you did a good job. Everyone kept saying it's so, what's that word in English that they kept saying? They were like, oh, so close. Like, God, I wish it would have happened like this. No. Trust me, I'm fine. Like, I'm really happy. I actually probably accomplished more than I should have this week. And I can say that genuinely. But other people want more. And that constant wanting more and not appreciating what you already got is what I learned this year. Practice how I approach competition. So I feel like more like myself than I have in a long time, I guess. A bit more free. So I'm happy about that.
All right, I will wrap it up with one more question, if you don't mind. Nian Choi announced her retirement yesterday. You had a lovely Instagram story kind of relating to her. Her last event will be the BMW Ladies Championship. What has Nian, her career, her legacy, meant to you as both a competitor and a friend?
So, I mean, as a colleague, right, if I can say that Nian Choi has had an incredible career, sometimes it's just unfortunate for me to see these legends not be glorified on how the level, like the amount of level that they should be. And they only look at how many you've won, the records that you have, how you're playing now, whether you're playing good now. It's just, if I think about the struggles that she's went through to growing this game, I mean, she's played for years, and she grew the game, and she was world number one. I mean, it's not easy to get there, even from childhood. So I want women's golf to get to a point where you recognize that, not because you're Serena Williams or because you're Nadal or Federer. People that got there also got there. So for me, Nian Choi, when she announced retirement, I felt more of sadness than relief for her, because I didn't feel that her last few years of her career, she was appreciated as much as she should have been. Same thing with MB Park. We have legends playing here right now. And sooner or later, they're going to retire. You know, everything turns around. And sooner or later, I mean, I'll probably be gone too in the next 10, who knows? But those are the things that we have to appreciate, that these girls went so far and so accomplished so many things to make this game growing and better. And I know we're just focused on now, but I just sometimes wish that people can take a moment to see what they've done and appreciate that now. And I just sent her a nice thing. I just said thank you for growing the women's game, and I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. I love her demeanor on the golf course. She's feisty, but it's like she's a fighter. Even if she's not world number one now, even if she's not top 50 now, she grinds. And she fought to the last shot that she possibly can. And I look at her and I'm like, my God, I get driven by that. So it's not just the results for me. That's why I'm a biggest fan of Nian Choi, and I forever will be.
All right. It seems Fred has, if we could just keep it to 2 questions, Fred, that would be great. But if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Megan's stressed because our press conference is going long.
Hi, Danielle. Could you tell us how you plan to attack this course? I know you're familiar with it. Is it the type of course that you can set it up and say, knowing where the pin placements are going to be, or do you have to just wait each day?
So this golf course is, it's really a ball striker's golf course. You have to manipulate it off the tee and into the greens. So that's something that I'm good at, I believe. And I have to just rely on the fact that I want to be feeling good and trust my swing. And that's when I just start calling Butch Harmon. But after that, around the greens, I just have to stay patient. This isn't a golf course where I'm just going to go and try and make a bunch of putts. If you can make a bunch of putts out here, you have every right to win, but I don't really see it. It breaks, it's like 4 to 5% break, even on 6, 7, 8 footers. And I don't think people are going to make a lot of putts. Around the greens are really tough. So that's how I'm going to attack it, is more with my ball striking and giving myself best chance for pars and birdies than trying to score as low as I can, basically.
And do you have a particular club that's really working for you at this point in your game?
You know, my 5-wood's really good. Ollie calls me the daddy of fairway woods right now. I am so sorry I said that, but that's what he calls me, because I used to be really bad at fairway woods, and it took me months to get that back. And he's like, "Daddy's back." I was like, "Thank you." So I'm really proud of my woods. Cool.
Thank you very much. And good
Amazing.
luck.
Absolutely incredible. Well, I appreciate the insight and for spending time with us, Danielle.
No problem.
Thank you and best of luck this week.
Thank you.